What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and we're going to be reviewing another one of my buddy's handguns. Now, we just did a review, and it should be out on this Walther PDP Pro, and it's absolutely ridiculous. This thing is a cheat code. This thing makes it not necessary to ever buy a double stack 2011 and spend that amount of money when you can spend half the amount of money and get this flawless, unreal, amazing duty setup, right? But we already did the review. We are no longer doing this. The only reason why I'm talking about it is there are handguns that are even a little bit cheaper, a couple $100 cheaper, that can still compete with this. Now, this is the best. I'm sorry, this is the best shooting handgun I've ever shot in my whole entire life, and I've shot everything. This is it. But these handguns are a little bit cheaper, and one could say they definitely can compete. But before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. Today, we're going to be talking about the CZ P10C, but not any P10C. This specific one, which I believe you can get this whole entire package just like my buddy did. We were at the range, I believe it was last weekend, and we were just looking at different firearms. One firearm that I always talk about being a sleeper, or just one series in general, is the P10 series. The P10S you can find for about $350, $375 for optics ready, and it's just an awesome subcompact with capacity made with CZ quality. At the end of the day, CZ quality is up there with the rest of them. In my opinion, I think CZ quality is even a touch bit better than SIG quality. And I definitely know their quality control is better for a fact. Normally, like I said, I'm not big into compacts. Do I have them? Yes, I have Glock 45s, Glock 19s, Glock 23s, daggers, SDs. I have a bunch of stuff, XDMs. But the CZ series is just one of the best. I don't own this. It's my buddy Dan Haig, so I appreciate you letting me use it for review because it really helps the channel. This whole package, everything you see here, I believe it came with 2 mags, maybe 3, I'd have to ask. $680. $680. Let's see what kind of sights these are real quick. They're XS sights. Once again, I'm carrying a handgun right now with XS sights. XS is one of my go-to sight pictures. I have them on a ton of handguns. Also, this Walther PDP Pro using XS sights. They are the best of the best, I'm telling you guys. Anyways, as you can see, they have a blacked out rear, a squared off rear with that nice, bright, big orange dot for the front. Absolutely love that CZ decided to go with XS because they literally have some of the brightest front dots. Now, the rear is blacked out, just how I like it, especially with an optic. This is the way to go. Now, as far as the actual optic itself, I'm not 100% sure which model it is. I believe it's the SCS or something like that. I believe it, yeah, the SCS, yeah, and it's one specifically made for the CZ P10. I love this dot. I'm actually the one who sighted it in for him. Absolutely love this thing. He actually let me have the first shots with this handgun. I'm like, no, dude, you do it. He's like, no, you get the first shots. I'm like, that's legit. I don't think I've ever let someone shoot a new handgun first before me, but respect. This handgun is the most ergonomic compact on the market, maybe with exception to something like the Walther PDP or even that handgun you see right there we're going to get into, but it just fits your hand so well. No finger grooves like the Gen 3s, Glocks. It just fits your hand so well. Now, the texturing, I like it personally, but for some people, they might find it a little aggressive. It has like those middle mini checkers and then like mini pyramids. It fits the hand quite well, in my opinion, but for some people, like I said, that might be a little too aggressive. Other than that, though, I love it. It's a great texturing Glock needs to take note from. Obviously, it comes with a nice rail. And one of my favorite parts about the P10 series is that big trigger guard. Not a lot of people focus on trigger guard size. But firearms like the Canik Menta MC9, if you live in a cold area, you'll never get a gloved finger through that trigger guard. I live in a place that is relatively cold during the winter, therefore I do wear gloves sometimes. Now, I was trying to find another handgun to show you an example of a small trigger guard, but this is nice. Plenty of room for a gloved finger to get in here. Then another benefit of this handgun is that trigger. It's just dumb. They're all great. I have the P10S and the P10M. The P10M has a pocket carry trigger, not a trigger like this, but it's the same trigger on the P10S, and man, is it clean, smooth, and I just like the feel of it. It has a really nice shape, a really nice feel to it, and there's literally nothing. It's just a clean, crisp break that is 100% predictable, and that thing comes back out on reset pretty dang fast. Now, as far as capacity goes, this is 15 rounds, and these mags will work in the P10S. This will also take mags from the P10F, the full size. Has nice little memory pads right here. I wish they were made more into ledges, but great texturing. And they're in a nice spot. I wear size large gloves, but I have a little bit fatter, shorter fingers, and that fits really well with my thumb. As far as my finger goes, remind yourself to keep that finger off the trigger, and boom. Awesome, awesome ergos on this handgun. Absolutely love it. Very small bore axis as well. This is a very low sitting handgun. Plus this grip, look at this. Look at the shape of that. Boom. You can choke up really high on it, get right below that slide, and it feels really good in the hand. Full 3-finger contact on it. Not even a question about that. Awesome finish on the slide. All CZs come with unreal finishes. The finishes are flawless. You're not going to have rust problems. You're not going to have issues. Nothing like that. As far as magazines go, I'm not 100% sure who makes them. I believe it's Metgar, though. All these mags look like Metgar. If you know Metgar mags, I'm guessing that's exactly what they are. So high-quality mags is all I'm trying to say. The best of the best. For example, look at the Taurus G3C. Look at Taurus as a whole. They really struggled with having reliable handguns. With the G series, they decided to branch out and say, hey, Metgar, we need you guys. And then look what happened. Their reliability is not perfect, but it's huge. The reliability is much, much better. Now look at that SCS. It's already a relatively small optic, especially compared to something like this, an Acro, and even, you know, my my Sealy Wolf X Pro. See how small that is? Now look at the dumb MOS system on the Glocks. Absolutely ridiculous. It sits super high. You can't co-witness with regular sights. It's 100% blocked, which is not a big deal in self-defense. You're going to be point shooting anyways, but just take note of how high that optic sits. Now look at the CZ. Woo! It almost looks like it's part of the slide. That is so clean looking. It's absolutely ridiculous how clean it is. It's just dumb. And I believe you turn it on using that button right there. There is your charger. And man, is this thing the complete setup. If you wanted a compact and you wanted the best bang for your buck and you wanted something under, you know, $700, I don't think there's a better option out there. I would take this over the X Macro. I would take this over a bunch of handguns. Awesome reliability, awesome ergos, and we shot the crap out of all these handguns today. Take a look at how dirty all this stuff is. I mean, we shot everything. We shot boxes of hollow points. We shot, you know, training ammo, everything. And no issues at all. Another thing about this handgun is it takes down just like a Glock. The internals are relatively simple to learn. Therefore, for newer shooters or beginners, or just people who want a easy handgun to maintain, this is where it's at. It's simple like a Glock to maintain the internals, right? Like I said, it takes down like a Glock. Awesome slide stop. Releases just like it should, but it's also very flush. Look at that on that frame. It sits really well. One problem I have had, and I actually had it today while shooting this, is because of my grip, I was bumping that slide stop and locking it up. With something like this, it is physically impossible. One, because the way the ergos are and the way your hand sits, but you'll never be able to slide that up. It just can't happen. It's built out right here, so that can't happen. It's basically protected. One of the smoothest racking handguns ever. It just is butter. Just straight up butter. Absolutely love this thing. Now, I wish my P10S was like this because I like the size of the P10S a little bit more, being a little bit shorter, but you cannot beat a handgun like this. There's so many great options nowadays, so many reliable, well-made handguns that don't have issues, and CZ is just one of them. They don't get as much credit as they should. They're not as popular as they should be, but they're just one of those companies that keeps chugging along, making awesome firearms and giving us releases that we want. Hopefully, we see that new double stack Micro 9 for them soon. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. That is the CZ P10C. Like I said, everything you see here came for about $680. Thanks for watching, guys.